Another girl? Unbelievable! Linda, my mother-in-law, exclaimed right after finding out the gender of our fourth child. You should divorce him if you can only give birth to girls. Mom's right, so you have no choice but to obey, Lawrence said with a smile, announcing the divorce. Fine by me, I thought. I'll leave with my 3 daughters. I accepted the divorce in anger. But when our fourth child was born, I couldn't help but smile contentedly. My name is Vivian, a housewife and a mother of 3 young daughters. I was planning to start working part-time once my youngest daughter turned 3, but then I unexpectedly fell pregnant with the 4th. Of course, I had no choice but to have the baby. But Lawrence, he's useless in housework and childcare. He hasn't even changed a diaper, so I knew things would be tough. It's crucial to teach the 4th one properly, but that's not going to be easy. After all, a big challenge lies ahead. That challenge is my mother-in-law, Linda. She's a male chauvinist, believing a wife should walk 3 steps behind her husband. The husband just needs to work, while the wife supports and contributes to him. That's her mindset. So, if I ask Lawrence to help with housework or childcare, Linda gets furious and starts yelling. She even holds the outdated belief that a woman is only accomplished if she gives birth to a boy. My kids are 3 girls aged 6, 4, and 2. They're constantly subjected to Linda's sarcasm. When we found out our first child was a girl, she said, "Oh, a girl? Well, you can't help it. Next time, make sure it's a boy." And when our second was also a girl, she said, "Another girl? What are you doing? Put more effort into it." Can gender be changed with effort? And then, can't you give birth to a boy? Next time it has to be a boy, or else. As if her approval mattered, but the real problem is Lawrence. When our 3rd daughter was born in front of Lawrence, Linda said to me, "Are you out of your mind?" Lawrence didn't say a word. "You don't need 3 daughters. Why not send one away for adoption? Or better yet, choose not to have any." Of course, I was furious. All the while, Lawrence just giggled. "Maybe that's a good idea." What? I vented my anger at Lawrence when we got home. How can you just laugh when she says such things? What things? Calling me crazy, saying we don't need 3 daughters, suggesting adoption. That's normal. Mom's right. It's a perfectly reasonable opinion. Linda is a son supremacist. Lawrence is a mom supremacist. What a pair. How can a father be okay with his daughters being unwanted? Linda completely ignored our 3 daughters, I said. Did she? Yes. When our daughter asked her grandma to play, Linda brushed her hand away, saying, "Be quiet and go read a book or something." Well, maybe she's right. How is that right? She ignored them even if they read a book. Ignored everything they said, completely. Eventually, the girl stopped talking to her. Well, maybe she's right. That's not right. My anger just wouldn't subside. Anyway, Lawrence always puts his mother and his wife second to her. He's a do-nothing, good-for-nothing. Linda is all about sarcastic remarks. Lawrence lacks any sense of being a father. Linda shows no interest in her granddaughters. What even is family? Still, the 4th child in my womb is growing well. My belly has grown significantly as I've entered a stable period of pregnancy, and I've started to feel the baby moving. Seeing my big belly, my children seem to have a lot on their minds, especially my eldest daughter, who will be starting school next year. She's becoming quite independent. "Mom, take it easy. I'll do the laundry," she offers. The second daughter is also taking initiative, saying, "I'm all ready for tomorrow." And even my youngest surprisingly.
I'm gonna be a big sister, right? I can use the toilet by myself,
she declares, heading to the bathroom on her own. Sure, there are still some mishaps, but their kind intentions are more than enough for me. Amidst these touching moments, Lawrence came home. That's when I shared the news from the doctor. The baby's gender was revealed. "The baby's doing well," I said. He replied. "I found out the gender." "It's a boy, right?" "It's a girl." "No way." "They couldn't see the symbol, so it's a girl." Wait, did he just click his tongue? He did, didn't he? He definitely did. I had a bad feeling about this. The moment the doctor said it's a girl because they couldn't see the boy's symbol, I imagined Lawrence's reaction, and it was just as I expected. I felt more anger than sadness. What's with that reaction? Aren't you happy our child is growing well? I think my anger was justified, but Lawrence responded in a way I didn't expect. "Happy? Of course not. Oh, man, how am I going to report this to Mom? My life is a disaster because of my incompetent wife." "What do you mean by that?" "I mean exactly what I said. Mom always says a woman is only accomplished if she bears a son, and she, who gave birth to me, is on the winning side." "What? How so?" "Well, she has a wonderful son like me." "No, I have 3 wonderful daughters, thank you very much." "But they'll marry and join another family, right? Who's going to take care of us in our old age?" I was dumbfounded. Does he want a son just to take care of him in his old age? What era is he living in? "We're not even taking care of Linda now." "What? Well, maybe not now, but of course we'll take care of her in the future." I wanted to ask him what he means by "of course." I'm just astounded by Lawrence's casual mention of taking care. "Who's going to take care?" "Well, you, of course." I shouldn't be referred to as "you" by him. What is he even talking about? "So I have to take care of her. Then we don't need a son." "No, what are you talking about? It's the son's wife who's supposed to do that. That's why our daughters won't be able to take care of us, right?" "Why not?" "Because you're really not getting it, are you? Your brain is slow." Is this what they mean by talking to a brick wall? Am I the one with the slow brain, or is it Lawrence? What era does he think we're living in? Nowadays, it's expected that everyone takes care of their own parents, not leave it to their spouse, daughters and sons alike. But it seems like Lawrence is stuck in the Stone Age. Did he come here in a time machine? I was so angry that I just served oatmeal for dinner. And then, the next day, something shocking happened. Despite it being a weekend and early in the morning, Linda showed up. When I'm tired from taking care of 3 daughters and need extra sleep because I'm pregnant, I thought it was harassment. But it was serious harassment. "Get a divorce." "Excuse me?" "I heard. Another girl. Can you believe it?" "Excuse me?" "So get a divorce." "Excuse me." That's all I could say. Me, stunned, and Linda with her arms crossed and a cold look. Then my daughters came.
"Grandma, I'm getting a little sister,"
said my youngest. To that, Linda replied, "You were a disappointment, and now an even more disappointing child is going to be born." She made my youngest cry. Then came my middle child.
"Grandma, that's terrible. My sister will be adorable. She's not disappointing."
Linda responded, "I had a bad feeling when you were born. You're disappointing too." She made her cry as well. Finally, my eldest appeared.
"Grandma, you're the worst. I hate you."
But Linda countered, "I'm the worst too, huh? All granddaughters, no, grandsons. Don't worry, I hate it too." and she managed to make all 3 of my daughters cry. What on earth is she saying? Linda, isn't that too much? Apologize to my daughters. I didn't say anything wrong. A wife who can only give birth to girls is useless. I yelled back with a fierce face, only to be met with an even fiercer retort. I'm not going to lose this. But just as I was about to stand my ground, Lawrence put his hand on my shoulder. Say something, will you? Well, what can I do? Mom says so. We have to obey, right? What? Confused, I turned to Lawrence. Mom says so, right? What? She says since you can only give birth to girls, we should hurry up and get divorced. We have to obey, right? That's the duty of a son. What are you saying? Well, that's the situation. So we're getting a divorce. Can divorce really be mentioned so casually with a smile? Is it something that can be decided so easily? The anger welled up inside me. Lawrence chose Linda over his wife and daughters without hesitation. And in just 3 minutes, the moment I realized this, my decision was swift too. My feelings cooled in an instant. If he took 3 minutes, I decided in 3 seconds. Okay, I replied. Okay, I'll leave with the daughters. And make sure you pay child support. Lawrence nodded with a smile at my words, and Linda too was smiling satisfactorily. We were never a family from the start. That's why it never worked out. With that thought, I quickly contacted my parents and started preparing. It was busy, but things went smoothly thanks to my father, who took action on behalf of pregnant me. He asked a lawyer friend to handle the divorce settlement and child support. Moving to a different state was stressful due to the change in hospitals, but luckily I found a good one. After the divorce was finalized, I gave birth to the 4th child. The result was surprising. Raising 4 children was really tough. I couldn't have done it without my parents' help. The thought of raising 4 children alone, if I hadn't divorced, is frightening. Lawrence and Linda certainly wouldn't have helped. In that sense, the divorce was truly a blessing. The youngest will grow up without knowing their father, which I regret. But Lawrence never cared for the children anyway. It would have been the same with the 4th. When I asked my eldest, "Do you miss Dad?" her reply was, "It's no different from when we lived together, so I don't feel anything." The kids don't miss their father, and life with me and my parents is peaceful. But then I found myself trembling in front of my bank book. Why? Because Lawrence hadn't transferred the child support. Living at my parents' house is one thing, but life gets tough without child support. This is serious. Reluctantly, I contacted Lawrence. Not wanting to call, I emailed him. No reply. So I sent a WhatsApp message. Ignored. What a joke. He's still the father of the children, divorced or not. As I was dreading making a phone call, it turned out I didn't have to, because he showed up himself. Yes, Lawrence came to my parents' house, with his mom in tow. Wow, long time no see. When I got home, there were 2 familiar faces at the gate, and my face stiffened. It was indeed Lawrence and Linda. "Vivian, what on earth do you mean by this?" "What?" Linda hadn't changed, even after so long. She started yelling without even greeting me. I tilted my head in confusion and she got closer. Too close. Back off. It's scary. "My son was told at work. It's outrageous not paying child support." Ah, right. Even with the court order, going through the hassle of enforcing wage garnishment seemed tiresome. So I had tried consulting Lawrence's company, but it seemed the word got directly to Lawrence himself. Well, that makes sense. Can't rely on a man who doesn't pay child support. They're even talking about demoting him at work. That's tough. Well, it's none of my concern, really. I guess my thoughts showed on my face because Linda glared at me fiercely. But then she noticed, with surprise, what I was holding. Yes, I was holding my fourth child. Unperturbed by Linda's loud voice, the baby slept peacefully. This is the fourth child. Yes, we just came back from the baby's checkup. She doesn't look cute like you. Thank you. Well, whatever. Really? Her first meeting with her grandchild since birth and she's indifferent? Typical Linda. Anyway, tell the company you're receiving the child support. But I'm not. We're a bit tight on money right now. We'll pay again when we have more. Tight on money? With what? Lawrence's salary wasn't small. With his income, child support, and Linda's pension and inheritance from my late father-in-law, they should live comfortably. So why the hardship? Linda, almost spitting, blurted out, "We can't go on vacations." Excuse me? Every day dining out with friends and we won't be able to do that. My son needs money for matchmaking to find a new wife. Seriously? Not seriously. If you understand, then don't complain about missing child support. But I will. What a struggle to live. Ridiculous. I sighed heavily and looked at my baby. It's tough, isn't it? Your grandma and father are so greedy. You mustn't grow up to be like them. I added another comment. Huh? I won't be like that, man. Right. You'll grow up to be a fine, handsome man. Call me a doting parent. I don't mind. But to Linda and Lawrence, something else was more shocking. They gasped. Huh? Wait, Vivian. Lawrence finally spoke. Did you just say he? Yes, I did. And handsome. I heard that right? Yes, you did. So the baby you're holding is... Yes. A boy? Yes, he is. Huh? At the moment I nodded. Lawrence and Linda's screams echoed through the neighborhood. Linda was flustered. Wait, Vivian! Are you saying that child is a boy? Indeed, he's a boy. What do you mean? I mean, he's a boy. No, wait! What am I waiting for? You said before the divorce the fourth child was a girl, right? I said the doctor thinks it might be a girl because they couldn't see the symbol. I never confirmed it was 100% a girl. But however... It's rare, but sometimes the symbol is hidden and it's not visible. No. I expected they would react like this, so I kept silent on purpose. Why didn't you tell us? You never asked. People usually tell. People usually ask about the baby's gender when they hear it's born. That's right. I reported the birth, but kept quiet about the gender. I would have told them if they asked, but they probably thought it was surely a girl, or didn't care. Either way, the two of them, not caring at all, never asked anything. They never asked his name or for pictures. There's no obligation to politely inform such people. It would be disrespectful to the baby. But Vivian! As Linda tried to continue her rant.
Grandma and Dad!
My second daughter shouted. All three daughters were together. They were home early because of the child care center's schedule, and my mom picked them up. What a coincidence. Oh my, everyone looks so lively! Linda suddenly spoke sweetly to her granddaughters, something she never did before the divorce. My, it's been a while, said my mom. Hello, Linda replied. Must be hard taking care of 3 grandchildren, Linda abruptly asked after formal greetings. Not at all. I'm happily spending my old age surrounded by my granddaughters. Oh my, how nice for you. I, on the other hand, have a comfortable and free life without the hassle of grandchildren, you know. How lovely for you. I'm busy, but we all help each other and spend days full of laughter. How enviable, but I'm laughing every day too. So am I. What's this? It turned into a boasting match between the moms. Linda stopped laughing, facing my mom. It seems you can't handle all 3. Shall I take care of one? Maybe the one you can't manage? She implied something outrageous. She didn't want the 3 granddaughters, but the remaining grandson. I'm experienced with boys. I should take care of the grandson. Just as expected, Linda, with her male chauvinism, said exactly what I thought she would, but my mother laughed it off. Ha! What a joke. How could you, who deemed your daughter-in-law and granddaughters unnecessary, possibly take care of anyone? That's not true. Because it's a boy, right? Who would accept such a ridiculous story? Weren't you the one who proposed divorce and said you didn't want grandchildren? Wasn't that from your side? Initially, it's your daughter's fault for only being able to give birth to girls, right? How unfair to now give birth to a boy. If I had known it was a boy, I wouldn't have allowed the divorce. What kind of a thing is that to say? I was angered by Linda, who hadn't changed at all. I was about to speak out. Silence! My mother was furious. How can someone who discriminates based on gender raise children properly? And blaming the wife for the gender? What kind of logic is that? But the wife! The gender is determined by the father. What? Gender is determined by the father. The mother's eggs has only X chromosomes, while the father's sperm carries both X and Y. The baby's gender depends on which sperm fertilizes the egg. So if a girl is born, it's because of the father's sperm. What? Linda and Lawrence were shocked and exclaimed in unison. Did they really not know this basic fact? Blaming me without even researching. Unbelievable. The 2 were shocked. But, well, that aside, now that it's a boy, you want him as a future caregiver. You think I'll hand over my grandchild for that? It's a son's duty. Does your son take care of you? Linda fell silent. Clearly, Lawrence, who never did anything, and was still living at his parents' house post-divorce, wasn't taking care of her. Can you even handle parenting now? I asked Lawrence. Me? Well, I have work, so Mom will take care of him. What? You're going to dump it all on an elderly woman? He's your son, meant to take care of your future, so you should be involved too. What? But Mom always says a man just needs to work. That's a different matter. Help me here. Such a thing. A pointless argument between a parent and a child started out of nowhere. I thought this would never end. Then, unexpectedly, a figure stepped forward. It was my eldest daughter. Dad, Grandma, you both can't do anything, so just go home, she said suddenly. Linda was in a panic. What? But... Surprised, Linda and Lawrence listened as my eldest daughter yelled. I'll protect Mom, my sisters, and my brother. I'll take care of them. People who can't do anything should just stay away. And the final blow. I hate both of you. Don't ever come to our house again. Previously, her words of hate didn't seem to bother them much, but this time it seemed to have a significant impact. My eldest daughter glared at them, gripping the hand of her sister, who also glared fiercely. The youngest sister, holding the middle one's hand, tried her best to glare too. Then the baby boy started crying, as if blaming Lawrence and Linda. That settled it. The two left dejectedly, without a word. Afterwards, Lawrence resumed paying child support, either due to fearing a demotion or having a change of heart. He even mentioned wanting to see the children, but they refused. So for now, it's a no-go. He needs to show some real effort. As for Linda, she stopped her unexpected visits to our house, but she didn't calm down, continuing her extravagant spending as a form of stress relief. Eventually, she used up all her late husband's inheritance and struggled financially with only her pension and Lawrence's salary. Unable to live as freely as before, Linda aged quickly and was eventually admitted to a facility with dementia. In contrast, my parents of the same age are lively and happy, surrounded by their grandchildren. Sadly, her son didn't take care of her. As for me, with my parents' help, I'm managing the upbringing of 4 children. It's tough, but it's filled with more joy and fun.
Mom, you've become more beautiful recently,
says my eldest daughter, now quite the young lady.
Mom, tie my hair.
My second daughter is becoming interested in fashion.
Mom, listen.
My third daughter seems to enjoy chatting more. And my son? I'm excited to see how handsome he'll grow up to be. Surrounded by the lively voices and smiles of my children, I live my days in happiness.